Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. Top 10 Mysterious Places on Earth. With the bounds made by technology in the past few decades, with global communication shrinking the world to the spaces in between your keyboard, it would seem as though there's very little mystery left. However, even with all of the knowledge and resources the internet provides us, there are still quite a few worldly marvels that will certainly leave us scratching our heads. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. While human beings have conquered the land, the ocean remains a deep, unfathomable mystery to us. Nothing encompasses this fact quite like the Great Blue Hole, a massive sinkhole located just off the coast of Belize. Made famous by Jacques Cousteau, the Great Blue Hole's deepest point was measured out to be roughly 407 feet down. This number would change in more recent years, likely due to ongoing sedimentation increasing the depth of the hole. Analysis of samples taken from within has helped researchers estimate that the hole was formed over 150,000 years ago. It likely began life as a cave, and when ocean levels eventually rose, the hole was flooded and became the marine sinkhole that has drawn so many gawking crowds to this day. On that note, the Great Blue Hole has been an irresistible source of tourism, especially for scuba divers. And who could blame them? The Blue Hole features crystal clear waters and, with its proximity to the Lighthouse Reef, often has many dazzling sea creatures exploring its depths, including sharks. Number 9. The Devil's Bridge, Germany. Surrounded by the dense greenery of Krumlau, Germany, the Devil's Bridge looks like something you'd encounter in Middle-earth, rather than a European woodland. The bridge was constructed by a local knight in the 1860s who valued aesthetics highly over function when it came to this bridge. Spires decorated either end, while the adjoining path arcs up dramatically to create a perfect semicircle. It is this design that gives the bridge its name, known as Rakotsbrück, or the Devil's Bridge. Many believe that the architecture is so incredible that it could only be the work of the devil himself. While the bridge is very much man-made, it's no wonder that the superstitious would lean towards this explanation, especially when you catch a glimpse of the bridge in the right sunlight. At a certain angle, the bridge is so perfectly reflected in the water below that it forms a perfect, complete circle. Unfortunately, it's forbidden to walk across the bridge. Not for any supernatural reasons, but the locals consider the bridge a relic and wish to preserve it by minimizing foot traffic as much as possible. Number 8. Roswell, New Mexico. For those of you out there who are keen on aliens, you're going to want to pull your seat a little closer. The Roswell UFO incident has been a source of major speculation, sparking conspiracy theories of all colors and sizes since its occurrence in 1947. But what exactly happened? In the middle of 1947, an alleged United States Army Air Force balloon crash-landed at a ranch outside of Roswell. Those who saw the balloon in flight were awe-stricken by what they interpreted as a mysterious flying disc, though they were brushed off by the US military, who stood by their story. It was merely a balloon and nothing more. Interest peaked in the 70s when the word alien would be on everybody's lips. Conspiracy theorists argued that the so-called balloon that crashed that night was actually an otherworldly spacecraft, and that the government had secreted away its alien inhabitants. In the 90s, the military published 2 reports regarding what happened in '47, reaffirming their own claims as to what happened. Despite this, however, belief that the event was a moment of alien-human contact persists, and many still believe Roswell to be shrouded in mystery and government subterfuge. Number 7. The Bermuda Triangle. One of the biggest names in the cursed location business is, of course, the Bermuda Triangle. This mysterious expanse of water defines about 500,000 square miles of ocean off the southeastern coast of Florida, one of the points of the triangle, with the other 2 being Puerto Rico and, quite obviously, Bermuda. But what makes this expanse of sea so feared? Of course, the sea is filled with fathomless, unexplored depths, which could be teeming with all varieties of prehistoric monsters. But nothing so concrete has ever arisen regarding the Bermuda Triangle. No, the triangle gained its infamy in just how intangible the mystery surrounding it is. There are no monsters or shipwrecks or anything of that ilk to report. The Bermuda Triangle is rather like some sort of black hole in which all that come within its borders, whether by air or by sea, go missing without a trace, or so many believers claim. In reality, there's no evidence that there are any more missing persons cases within the triangle as there are any other part of the sea. Even so, the circumstances under which a lot of the ships and planes have disappeared are awfully mysterious. Many have dropped off the radar in clean, calm weather without leaving so much as a distress call to go off of. With that much left unknown, it's only natural that people would want to fill in the gap with their own imagination. Number 6. Magnetic Hill, Canada. After that fateful day when Sir Isaac Newton was inspired when an apple fell on his head, it was generally assumed that the laws of gravity were pretty cut and dry. Gravity tends to pull things towards the Earth, if nothing else is there to act on it. Well, that isn't quite the case in Moncton, Canada, where cars are reported to roll uphill when left in neutral. In reality, this phenomenon is the result of a gravity hill, a hill where the surrounding terrain creates an optical illusion, in which a downward slope actually appears to be uphill. Nevertheless, it's still an amazing trick to play on the eye, and has been a huge tourist draw since roughly the 1950s. Today, drivers are charged a fee to drive their cars to the end of the road, where, if placed in neutral, they will appear to start rolling uphill. Maybe this location isn't entirely mysterious, but anything that can trick the human eye so plainly is definitely worth a second glance. Number 5. MARFA, Texas. Taking you back into paranormal territory, we're heading to MARFA, Texas, where ominous ghost lights have been spotted on Route 67. These so-called lights have been reported as disembodied floating orbs, distinguishable from those of a house or a car's headlights. The history of the lights can be traced back to 1883, when a young farmhand saw a flickering light while he was going through the motions of his work. Upon trying to corroborate what he saw with other townsfolk, they confirmed that they'd also seen the lights, but upon investigating them, they could never find a source. James Bunnell, MARFA local and author of Hunting MARFA Lights, has described his encounters with the unexplainable phenomenon with, quote, "You might just see mysterious orbs of light suddenly appear above desert foliage. These balls of light may remain stationary as they pulse on and off, with intensity varying from dim to almost blindingly brilliant. Then again, these ghostly lights may dart across the desert or perform splits and mergers. Light colors are usually yellow-orange, but other hues, including green, blue, and red, are also seen. MARFA mystery lights usually fly above desert vegetation, but below background mesas. Despite the extensive research of Bunnell and others, there's still very little known regarding what's causing these strange orbs of light. Number 4. The Winchester Mystery House, California, a luxury home with over 100 rooms, the gorgeous location of San Jose, and stairs that go nowhere? That's right. The Winchester Mystery House is most famously known for its absolutely haphazard construction, featuring windows overlooking other rooms, aimless sets of stairs, and the mismatched risers on the home staircases. Its owner, Sarah Winchester, inherited the house and a surplus of wealth after her husband's death in 1881. From that point on, she believed the house to be haunted by all of those who had fallen victim to a Winchester rifle, and in order to appease these spirits, she must continuously keep building onto her home. In its prime, the house was a massive 7 stories tall. However, after an earthquake in 1906, it was diminished to 4 stories, where it remains to this day. Presently, the house is privately owned and regarded as a California historical landmark. Number 3. Nazca Lines, Peru. In the Nazca Desert in southern Peru, there exist massive geoliths dating back to as early as 500 BC. Known as the Nazca Lines, each of the several hundred figures displayed is made up of a single, shallow line, which could span up to 1,200 feet long. Overall, the lines total out to cover 808 miles, with their shapes ranging in complexity. Some feature simple geometric patterns, while others display humanoid figures or various animals, such as a hummingbird or a dog. Literature on these lines can be traced back to the mid-16th century, where they were misinterpreted as trail markers or roads. It was only in the 20th century, with the advent of the airplane, that the true nature of the glyphs could truly be discerned. It's because of the aerial nature needed to appreciate the glyphs that some speculate them to have been created by ancient astronauts. While this is not likely the case, it doesn't detract from the mysterious nature of the site, which was declared a World Heritage Site in 1994. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us, and we might even feature it in a future video. As for now, don't forget to comment and tell us, what do you think about the image? Number 2. Underwater Buddha Garden. Located in the shallows of the Senengan Channel near Bali, this underwater Buddha is absolutely awe-inspiring, with the sea-mottled sunlight gently dancing over the statue's peaceful smile. It's hard not to be grasped by a sudden bout of religion. However, many would be disappointed to hear that this is not, in fact, an ancient shrine. Known as the Pemutarang Temple Garden, it's actually an installation created by local businesses and artists, and, as one of its creators states, it, quote, makes a very good medium for coral growth. Not that this diminishes any of the mystique, though. Ancient ruins or not, there's definitely something magical about scuba diving next to an 8-foot-tall Buddha. Number 1. Blood Falls, Antarctica. Sailing towards the Tyler Glacier in East Antarctica, one might think that they were stumbling across a murder site. Gushing from the ice is a stream of red liquid closely resembling blood, giving the falls its name. However, it was discovered that this gory scene was actually a naturally occurring phenomenon due to iron oxides discoloring the seawater. While a tad underwhelming, the blood falls are definitely striking at first glance, and that name goes miles in terms of preserving the ominous undertones of the site. That's it for today's video. We certainly hope you like it. And if you did, leave us a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and click that bell notification button so you never miss any more of our updates. And as always, thanks for watching.